This incident that occurred in 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico, will shock you. He launched himself off the ship and attempted to flee. Air Force Roswell in July 8, 1947, at exactly 8:45. A man named Max, a seasoned pilot from World War II who had flown expeditions over Antarctica, began his flight in a Lockheed P-2V Neptune maritime patrol plane. Shortly after taking off from the airport, he noticed something strange happening with his instruments. This was only the beginning of what this man was about to witness. As he fled from the airport in Mexico, after a few hundred kilometers and at an altitude of 1,350 meters, he suddenly saw a light. He described seeing three colors he couldn't identify, which he referred to as rainbow-like, but unlike anything he had ever seen before. In later statements, he even claimed these colors were different from any on Earth, suggesting that we are like colorblind people compared to them, as our eye receptors cannot detect this type of light. As he got closer, Max claimed in later reports that he saw a large plume of smoke rising from the ground. As he circled his plane around the smoke, Max's communications with the base were limited due to some strange interference, as he revealed to a newspaper in 1949. Max claimed that he couldn't land near the crash because it was unsafe and impossible, so he landed 5 kilometers away at an abandoned airport. From there, Max began walking toward the crash site. As he kept walking, Max reported hearing unknown voices in his head. He described it as a scratching sound, but more like a nightmarish scratching. And finally, as he reached the target and got closer to the crash, he saw a creature unlike anything else in the world. He claimed the creature looked exactly like something from alien movies. Its height was around 1 meter, and its eyes were glowing a color closest to purple, as he described. Max was in complete shock seeing the creature with his own eyes. As he got closer to it, Max said it felt like he was shot in the head. "I suddenly lost consciousness and don't remember anything after that moment," he said. The incident is over now, but we have more eyewitnesses. A few people also saw the crashed alien craft under the smoke. The United States Army arrived shortly after the alien craft crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, and detained all the eyewitnesses. According to the witnesses, the Army threatened to shoot them if they revealed anything. In a 1954 statement from an eyewitness named Cole, he said that he had a piece of the alien craft. He claimed that the US Army took the piece from him. He described the material from the alien craft as unlike anything seen before. You could wrap the metal-like material around your hand, and it would return to its original shape. Later reports from United States Army Air Forces claimed that this was only Army weather balloon. But later, in 1978, retired Air Force officer Jesse Marcel revealed that the Army's weather balloon claim had been a cover story, but speculated that the debris was of extraterrestrial origin. Okay, so most of us believe this was really an alien crash. But what if we reveal that the US Army had Hangar 18, where they kept the alien body and aircraft? Hangar is a non-existent location that many later conspiracy theories allege housed extraterrestrial craft or bodies recovered from Roswell. The idea of alien corpses from a crashed ship being stored in an Air Force morgue at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was mentioned in Scully Behind the Flying Saucers, expanded in the 1966 book Incident at Exeter, and became the basis for a 1968 science fiction novel, The Fortech Conspiracy. Fortech was about a fictional cover-up by the Air Force unit charged with reverse engineering other nations' technical advancements. The mythology of Roswell, involving increasingly elaborate accounts of alien crash landings and government cover-ups, has been analyzed and documented by social anthropologists and skeptics. Anthropologists Susan Harding and Kathleen Stewart highlight the Roswell story was a prime example of how a discourse moved from the fringes to the mainstream, aligning with the 1980s zeitgeist of public fascination with conspiracy, cover-up, and repression. Skeptics Joe Nickell and James Magaha proposed that Roswell's time spent away from public attention allowed the development of a mythology drawing from later UFO folklore, and that the early debunking of the incident created space for UFO logists to intentionally distort accounts toward sensationalism. That's all for today. Thanks for watching our amazing explorers. If you can, please subscribe, share, and like the video to support our incredible team. Until next time, see you, our fellow space farmers.